Hello and welcome to part 2 of this Houdini soccer ball tutorial. This is part 2, adding the soccer ball geometry. This is going to be a pretty short video. We're just going to add one node to the tree, a Platonic node, and then we're going to give our shape thus far a more rounded soccer ball look. So let's go to step number 1. We're going to press our tab key and search for a Platonic node. And so a Platonic solid node, we're just going to add it up here for now. And so we're going to place it near the top, and then we're going to wire it into our Polyextrusion node. So we can see our Polyextrusion node has an empty case right here. So we're just going to put it in there. Now what Houdini wants us to do is delete this box node, and this Platonic rather is going to take as the parent of our tree. So let's delete it. Now we can see that we've got a bunch of errors, right? Houdini is complaining. It says we have not enough sources specified. Well, we have specified sources. We have our Platonic right here, and it's feeding straight into our Polyextrusion. However, we need geometry in this part of the node, right? And so there's two inputs up here. This one right here, apparently it needs geometry. So let's just take our Platonic node, put it in the top of the tree, and then hold down Y for our cutting tool. And then we're just going to draw a line, disconnect, and then we'll click on the end of this node and click on the left input here of our Polyextrusion. And then there we go. Our Platonic is back in action. And so now we're going to go to our Platonic node, and we're going to set our solid type up here within the parameters pane. We're going to set our solid type to soccer ball. And so you might be wondering, whoa, Houdini has a soccer ball just like randomly thrown in there? No, they do not. It's just that earlier when we set our project, when we had the set project command and we set it within that Houdini starting lesson folder, that starting lesson folder contained all the files that we needed, including this soccer ball template from which to work on. So now that we've got our ball set with that Platonic node and our box deleted, we're going to move on to step 2. So we're going to select our Polyextrude node, and see this red handle there? We want to make sure that's activated. And now we're just going to use this handle to set the distance to have our soccer ball look more like a soccer ball. So you see if we pull out here and then Control H to pull up, look out even further, or spacebar H, my bad, we can make some pretty crazy shapes with this. But we're not looking for crazy shapes today. We're looking for a soccer ball. So we're just gonna pull in, and then I wanna zoom in there. So I'm gonna hold down my spacebar, and then I'm gonna hold down my middle mouse button. I'm gonna move my pan around a little bit, and then right click. And then I'm just going to zoom in there. So spacebar and right click gives me my zoom, my dolly. And now I'm just going to change that distance to be round. I don't want all the hexagons quite touching because it's not what it looks like in the PDF. I want to go as close to as I can. So I'm going to, according to the picture in the PDF, it looks right about there. You can follow along if you'd like. So we're going to leave our hexagons right there in that pattern. And now we're gonna go to our viewport. I'm sorry. We're gonna go to our viewport and use our radial menu. So holding down V, we're gonna go down to shading, and then we're gonna go to smooth shaded and click that. And so now we have our ball. And it looks a bit plasticky. It doesn't quite look like a proper soccer ball. Looks more like an art piece for home decoration than a proper ball. So we'd like to change the shading on that. So we'll go back to V, and we'll go to shading, and we'll go to smooth wire shaded instead, and we'll click on that. Oh, that's wrong. Control Z to undo that. Control Y to go back where we were, and then V, shading, and smooth wire. Shading, smooth wire shaded. Thank you. And so now we have our soccer ball. Again, here's the difference between smooth wire shading. So let's go back to shading, smooth shaded. We just have a cheap looking plaster ball, maybe something you find at a dollar store. Go back to wire shading, and now we can see that we have plenty of more faces to work with, and we'll tackle those in the future. Thank you for watching this video, and have a good day.